Hi, how's your day going?
My day's going good. I'm here enjoying the beach on my day off. Trying to have a good afternoon. Yeah.
So, what do you think about people that abuse animals?
Yeah, I think that is a moral failure and an ethical failure. I think animals they deserve the same rights. To accent the same as people. We need to respect them and their environment. And I think that is a failure of the character of the person. Yeah, I think it's bad.
I'm glad you speak that way, but let me ask you, do you personally think you abuse animals?
I mean, as far as I know, I don't think I abuse animals. If in any case someone notices something, maybe they could like hit me up and tell me, to be better in those terms. But in the like classical terms of like not feeding them or not or hitting them and not giving them the attention they need, I don't think I do that. So yeah, I don't think I abuse animals. No, I don't think so.
So let me ask you, do you wear animal flesh, like skin, like like they call it leather, but
Yeah.
it's cow skin?
Okay.
Do you wear fur? Do you silk wear it, or even for bed sheets, silk bed sheets? Do you yeah? Do you ride horses? Do you visit SeaWorld, circuses, zoos?
The only thing that out of all the things that you listed, the only thing that I did like a couple of years ago was that I went to SeaWorld, but that was like I think like 4 or 5 years ago, I think. And since then, I've been more conscious about the things that go down on that facility, all those things. So yeah, I've been more hesitant in terms of like going to those sorts of places, and I haven't been in a zoo in like a while. So out of all the things, no, I as of now don't do any of that.
Let me ask you another like a follow up question.
Okay,
Do
yeah,
you
sure.
would you go again? That's the question.
I think there's a part of me that would like to go because of the spectacle and maybe like hanging out with friends and with family and all that. But at the same time, it will like be like a burden to me knowing all the things that go down. So I think I will be personally conflicted. Yeah, but I think I will be more conscious if I ever go again or if I ever think about going again. I think I will have that in my mind before I actually make the decision to go there again.
Yeah, so a lot of people love animals, and like yeah, we want to see them, we want to like kind of learn about
Yeah.
them, but then yeah, it's like you visit like a circus, a SeaWorld, like a zoo. Um, yeah, it's a fun moment for us,
Yeah.
but have you ever thought that we go there, but then we come back home to our own
Yeah,
homes?
that's true. That's totally
Have
true.
you ever thought about them like they stay there forever? They are born there. They are stolen. Like let's talk SeaWorld.
Yeah.
They steal the animals from from the ocean, and then they put them there.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about like they never return back home?
Yeah, definitely. And recently, with the whole situation that happened here in Puerto Rico with the zoo of Maya West and all the thing that happened with the elephant called Mundi and all that stuff, I've been more conscious about those stuff of like the ethics of now in the 21st century. Is it really necessary to have zoos and those type of like things going on? So yeah, I've been more thoughtful of that, and I think that yeah, animals should be on the natural their natural habitat, and we, as as a society, we need to do our best to protect them, to take care of them, and protect the environment because it's not only for the animals, it's also for us, And we also need to have a class consciousness, a social consciousness, and make a critique of those systems, institutions, and companies and all the stuff that they participate in all of that, not just focusing on not going, which is a part of that, but we also need to confront those big, wealthy, powerful people that engage in that sort of, of things, in terms of like polluting and damaging the environment and the animals and us, as a whole. So yeah, we need to, not just take it, at just like simple things or think that these things happen in a vacuum. We need to be conscious about like as a whole, like how all this, takes place and happens and manifests. So yeah.
So that whole issue that we're talking about, do you think we can help the issue by continuing to pay money to these places? Like if you ever did if you ever do consider going to these places, wouldn't you think you're paying for these places to continue happening and continue abusing animals and putting them through all that, like captivation, enslavement? Like if you do go to SeaWorld or a zoo circus, everything that I talked about, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna repeat it, but uh, wouldn't you think that's contributing to animal abuse?
Yeah, in a sense, yeah, it is. But also, not only we should think about that, because yeah, when you go to a place like that and you pay with your money, you are in a certain way, like investing in that. So yeah, that's a part of the problem. But I think we have to have a larger critique of it, not just think about the individual, but as a collective, not just the person that goes, but also the companies and all those stuff. Yeah, so that you can confront them, because sometimes some things that I see in different aspects of our society is that we tend to just attack the individual, the individual, and their behavior, but not the collectives in terms of, like, like you said, a person can pay, and that's, that in a certain way affects the problem, but we also need to attack the larger, like roots of the problem, and maybe this goes like a little bit deep, but we also need to have a critique of capitalism in that way, and how and how capitalism manifests in the environment, and how, and in all the things that you said. So yeah, we also need to educate the people, so that in their individual sense they don't support those types of things. So we also need to have a critique of that manifestation of capitalism and capitalism as a whole, because the reason that zoos exist is so that people can see, go, and they pay, so we also need to have a critique of that, so that we can finally get rid of the problem, or start having a real change and difference in regards to those problems in our society.
So what I want to say is like people think that the way to attack this problem and like address this issue,
Yeah.
like people think it's like, yeah, go for the businesses and like go big and like go like yeah, like try to stop
Yeah.
the yeah like the yeah like the zoo,
Yeah.
and yeah, like people think. But yeah, what would you think would happen if we a lot of people stopped going to these places? Do you think they would be even, I don't know, like they would be able to maintain themselves? Like it's also supply and demand. Like we're giving them
Yeah.
money, we're
Exactly.
helping them
Yeah.
continue
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah.
If we stop going, like if a lot of people stop going to these places, then they will eventually gonna have to go. They're gonna go bankrupt and they're gonna end up closing.
Yeah.
So we're helping them not close. Have you ever thought about
Yeah.
that?
Oh
Like
yeah.
we can take an individual
Yeah.
stance
Of course. Yeah.
and stop it ourselves, and then a lot of people stop it ourselves each individually,
Yeah.
and then we become we become the big attackers for their money.
Okay.
We don't give them money
Yeah. Exactly.
as
Yeah.
an individual, and we form like a, what would you say, like a community of people that don't support these places.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should start thinking more about like individually, like
Yeah.
let's just stop going to these places, right?
Yeah, sure. The thing is that, for example, I'm not saying that attacking that doesn't work. It does, but if of like a zoo that, let's say, like a million people go, a year, for example. Let's give like random numbers. If like 1, 10, 20 people like stop going, it's not gonna make that big of a change, and yeah, we should all like stop paying, and to go to these places, and therefore stop supporting. But the way that these businesses think is that, okay, so this zoo goes down, so let's now open one in a different area, so it's not only attacking the business side, it's also installing that consciousness on the people, so that, let's say a zoo closes because people start supporting, because they gain conscious in regards to the situation, so that they know, and they don't try to do that on a different area. It's just all of us as a collective, start teaching individually, but aspire to attack the situation as a collective. We cannot be thinking it as a selfish, or I should say, like only in an individual way. That's a way to begin, like this that we're doing right now. But we need to try to do it as a collective, so that people in general stop going, so that they can see that doesn't matter. So that they can see that it doesn't matter where you go, people are not gonna be in favor of these things. So yeah, I think you can do one thing and also the other. Se puede caminar y más cachique a la vez. But we need to start like building that foundation and climbing those steps so that we can actually make a change. I think a clear example of that is when they tell you that okay, don't use plastic like straws, which can help, but it doesn't matter if you use a metal straw or a paper straw, as long as those big factories are polluting the environment, as long as those big CEOs keep damaging the environment, So something that happens in our society, and that is a manifestation of capitalism, is that they try to pin the problem only in an individual sense, like I said, like with the straws and the plastic and all the stuff, so that people can like put the blame on the individual, just the individual, and they don't, and so that people don't, as a collective, like turn their eyes to the other way and see, wait, it's not just me as a person, it's also these big companies, these big conglomerates, these CEO, these rich people, So I think we need to have all those things, have that bigger picture in mind.
So I'm gonna like change a little topic here.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, the question was, do you think if you abuse animals? But I'm gonna ask you another question.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you eat animals, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you know on a little thing that I asked if you abuse animals. The answer is yes, because do you think? Let me ask you another question. Do you think eating animals is not abuse?
I think we need to.
Let me make it different. Like,
Go ahead.
do you think animals don't want to live, and we taking their choice to live? We're like taking the only thing they own, which is their own life. So we're abusing that possibility of their own life. So we're like, because we are selfish, we want something from them. We take their only thing that they own.
Yeah.
Would you say that's abuse? Like we're abusing the only thing they have?
It depends on how you see it, because throughout this whole interview I've been hinting at of having like clash consciousness, and I agree with you to a certain point, but we also need to analyze the context of like different places and people. For example, let's say you're a poor family that lives in the woods. The government has completely forsaken them. They have no access to to the essential services, in this case nutrition and being able to eat and all that stuff, and they have the obligation, let's say for example, to like kill like a cow or something so that they can eat. They don't do it out of like malicious intent. They do it because that's the only resource that they have. So it's not only taking it like at simple glance, because in a way it is, and the way that that factories and companies treat animals like chickens and cows and all that stuff, how they like raise them so that they can be prepared, so that people can buy them and eat them and all that stuff. That is a really like sad situation, and we need to take care of that situation.
How do you suggest we take care of a situation where at the same issue we took with supporting other like zoos and circuses and all that, it's the same thing as supply and demand. If you eat animals, you're demanding for more products. So you're saying, yeah, I guess I'm against animal abuse, but I still contribute to that, and it's not gonna happen if we continue to contribute to that. Like, do you think animals want to live?
I think that they want to live, like we all do, And I'm not, belittling the value of the life of animals. I'm not doing that in the least.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's like when you choose to eat them, you actually are devaluing their life, because you're choosing taste over life.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Let's say that I'm a poor family, let's say in Africa. What am I supposed to eat? If I
But what
live
about
alone.
no no?
Just
But
give me-
but
just give me an
let's talk
example,
about you. Like not let's
In
not
my
go like
yeah,
over
okay.
places. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, in my case, okay, let's say, I'm a working class, young person. I study and I work and I'll do all that stuff, Sometimes, let's say, the vegan options or the vegetarian options, the thing that can be, let's say, more friendly, to put a word, sometimes they're not that accessible to me because they can be pricey, they can be, expensive, in the long run. So they're also the point, like I said, the economic and the social conscious of, the class conscious in the discussion, because if I only do, let's say, like $200 a week, and I have to pay a car, I have to pay college, I have to pay, whatever bill it is, and I also have to eat, the accessible option that I have is, maybe if I don't want to, but I just, maybe the most accessible thing that I have is so that is to buy meat so that I can eat, like I said, I not do it like out of like a malicious intent, I think we need to find, the ethics of how we can, resolve that situation, but not just taking it as like a face value and saying, okay, let's just like get rid of it, like just like that. Because yeah, we need to fix the situation and try to find a more ethical way to deal with that. But we also need to understand, that that this is also like a nutrition thing, that people sometimes they only have that accessible so that they can eat. So I think we need to also have that, in mind when we talk about the situation.
So let's say, what about? Let me see what I could. Yeah, let me. Yeah. So the
Yeah.
same stance that you took, like you think, like you eat animals, but not in a malicious way. I don't think anyone. I mean, some people do, but a lot of people they they don't do it like in a malicious way. They just
Yeah.
do it out of
Yeah.
many reasons. But would you take that same stance if it was humans in this case?
I wouldn't, because there's a difference, I think there's
Like
a
like would you stop consuming, like if we were eating humans,
yeah.
would you stop eating humans today, or would you say like, oh, humans are the only nutrition, the only food that I have, so I have to continue to eat them. Like I don't eat them in a malicious way,
Yeah.
but I still eat them, and I eat other things like plants, but like I still eat them, like just not in a malicious way, and we can just deal with not eating humans, like tackle that issue in a different way. Would you take that?
Yeah.
Would you stop eating humans today?
The thing is that I think that argument that you're providing is a false equivalency,
It's a
because it's not.
yeah. I think I'll take my
Yeah, sure,
friend
for
will
sure.
take over,
Yeah.
and yeah, yeah.
Zumba, zumba. Está viendo en Miami, como está oscureciendo, no sé si se está
Ah, no,
oscuro.
eso graba bien a cualquier hora.